Are you excited at the thought of growing your business? Welcome to the Hayley Osborne Show. This is the place where you'll learn how to get more high-quality leads and sales in your business. My goal with this show is to help you grow your business, be inspired, nail your creativity, get the best out of your marketing, and show up as the most fearless superhero version of yourself. I'll be teaching you the tailored frameworks and tools I use to unlock my clients' superpowers and turn them into quality leads and inquiries. And I want the same for you. I started my first business at the age of 25 and continued to build 3 successful businesses along the way. Small business owners are the backbone of the economy, and I'm here to demystify marketing, make it easy for you, and help you reach more customers. Let's do it. Welcome back to another episode of the Hayley Osborne Show. I am so excited you are here. Today, I have a very special guest joining me. This is episode 87, and her name is Hannah Willsmore. She is also a member inside my membership, Superhero Marketing, and I couldn't wait to get her on here because she has come a long way with her marketing. She is an exceptional female in business. She is a registered and endorsed midwife and award-winning childbirth educator. She's based here in Adelaide, where I am also based, and she's got lots of experience in hospitals and maternity settings, and she is a hypnobirthing graduate as well as life coach and midwife, and she is also a mum of a young human who is similar in age to my youngest, so he's just over 1. She does antenatal and postnatal in-home midwifery as well as hypnobirthing courses, and she showcases all of her expertise through her social media, through her marketing, through her website. She's gotten really, really good at it. And I wanted to get her on so that we could talk about the things that she did to move her marketing forward and have a bigger impact, because she came to a realization that she needed to do more when it comes to her marketing, and I really wanted to bring her in. She's a smart lady, and I wanted her to talk about what that looked like for her and her experiences. She's really smart and really good at what she does, so we have a lot in common, which is so nice, and I have been able to help her on her journey of becoming such an awesome marketer in her business and upskilling herself. I will say as well, this episode is brought to you by my signature program, Superhero Marketing. It is the place helping you to get clear on what marketing strategies and activities you need to do, giving you the biggest growth with the least amount of time and effort for your business. As this episode airs, I will be a week away from doors opening. I'm so excited. It is like one of the biggest deals of the year for me. So doors opening to my signature membership next week. So that'll be 1 week from now when this episode airs, which is the 7th of November. And there is a beautiful wait list that is there waiting for you to join with some awesome bonuses that I've actually never done before. So if you go over to my website, HayleyOsborne.com, and then click on Superhero Marketing, you'll be able to join the waitlist if you think that this might be for you. And because you'll be on the waitlist when you join, you'll get access to doors opening 48 hours before they open to the public, and you'll also get 3 bonuses, which is something that I've never done before. The first one is a 60-minute one-on-one strategy session with me to get you off to a flying start. Then I have a bonus 14-day live video strategy Canva template, which we all know how powerful video is, and I find that this has really helped the members inside my membership. And the third bonus is my very first ebook, which is huge. This is such a big one. It's called 100 Affirmations, Manifesting Your Dreams Through Positive Thinking. And I use the method, I guess, of positive thinking in my day-to-day life, in my business. You know, I do have very small children. I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and some days are harder than others. If you've been there, or if you're in it, or if you know people that are in it, like some days can be really hard. So I found this to work for me, and I wanted to put the little quotes and affirmations together in a product for you because it's helped for me. So that's there ready for you if you join the wait list and join before the doors open period. There's 3 beautiful bonuses there. But one of the things that I really want to talk about, and I haven't actually ever done this before, is I am running a free coaching week next week. And this is cool. It's 2 days, which is pretty awesome. And it is my marketing makeover challenge. And so it basically is to step up your marketing, because if you are not forefront of people's minds in a really authentic way, as best that you can be, you're kind of doing your business a disservice. So I'm really excited to be running my very first live free coaching week, which will be over 2 days next week. I'll be live in Marketing Makeover, in the Marketing Makeover Challenge. And if you're a small business owner and you want to establish your marketing foundations and optimize your content, then this is for you. You don't want to miss it. It's an opportunity to help you break free from feeling unsure where and how to start your marketing, laying a solid foundation to help springboard your business and yourself into the next version of you. I promise to deliver massive value and help you succeed, and I always deliver huge value. So I highly recommend that you don't miss out and you do sign up. If you want to sign up, just head over to my website, hayleyosborne.com, and you can register for free. It's live with me for 60 minutes across 2 days, and you can do that on my website by clicking the link. So the days that I will be doing it is next Wednesday. Wow, just let me find the date here. What's the date next Wednesday? It's the 8th of November. Wednesday, the 8th of November, and it will be at 11 a.m. Australian Central Daylight Savings Time, which is Adelaide time. If you're in Sydney or Melbourne, that's 11:30 a.m. your time. And if you're in Brisbane, that is 11. If you're in Brisbane, it's 10:30 a.m. So 10:30 in Brisbane, 11 a.m. in Adelaide, and 11:30 in Sydney and Melbourne. And that is November the 8th and 9th. So Wednesday and Thursday next week, I will be running my live free coaching week, which will coincide with doors opening to the membership. And if you haven't seen my socials already, there's a couple of really nice little videos and different things, which also showcases my latest photo shoot. So I would love you to go over, register, come join me live. It's nice for you to join live because what you get live is basically me. So you have me to ask questions that you might have as we go along. And when you show up live, from my experience, you're committed to achieving an awesome outcome for your business and ultimately for yourself. And there are stats around this. So I know that works. And so day 1, you can expect to learn how to establish your marketing foundations and what they are, what works and what doesn't. And day 2, you will learn how to optimize your content and increase your sales. Guys, I'm so excited for this. Head over to hayleyosborne.com to register, and I hope to see you there. And without further ado, let's get into today's episode and welcome in Hannah. Hi, Hannah, and welcome to the podcast. I'm really, really excited to have you here. Finally, you are on my podcast. Yay! How are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Hayley. I'm really excited for our chat finally today as well.
Cool. So I have done my own little intro already, but in your own words, I would love you to tell the listeners who you are and what you do.
So I'm Hannah. I am a mum to a little one and a midwife, and I support pregnant and postnatal women to achieve an empowering birth and positive transition to motherhood. And I have had my business for around 8 years now and have a few different ways that I work with families, from education courses in pregnancy and one-off sessions to support families through to supporting them after they have their baby through the first 6 weeks and beyond.
Yeah. Wow. And what you do is game-changing and affecting lives and helping, especially helping parents in their most vulnerable state. So how you communicate that, obviously this is, my zone of genius is marketing. How you communicate that is very delicate, and you have to be so good at it, and you have to like refine that. And your messaging, no doubt, has to speak from the heart, like right there, to attract your core customer, because you're dealing with something so sensitive and beautiful life. How old's your little one?
He is 16 months.
Yeah. So we have little ones the same age, boys.
Yeah.
It's so fun running a business with small humans, isn't it?
It is a delicate balance, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. So yes, congratulations for doing it all. Like mumming, businessing. What is your biggest what would you say your biggest win is right now in like having the juggle?
My biggest win, I think probably is really feeling like I have got the balance right. I feel like I'm jinxing it just by saying it, because it changes week to week, and they get sick or you have a bigger week with work or something. But I feel like I've really I've got a lot more mindful of how I spend my time, especially in the business, and really, in the business, prioritizing our clients is the top priority, right? Like you said, it's a really personal time, and obviously in the healthcare industry too, where we're providing clinical care. So, giving really good care to our clients and to my clients is my number one priority in business. But then, of course, there's all the other stuff as well. And then being a mum and balancing that. So I feel like, yeah, it took a little bit coming back from maternity leave to find my feet and to work out how it was going to work. I sort of thought that I would just come back and just do a scaled down version of what I was doing. But I found that it doesn't, business don't really run like that. Like, it's not just, you don't just tap in and out on the day that you're working. And so, yeah, just really refining things, really honing in on the ways that I love to support clients and where I feel like my zone of genius is in helping people, and just keeping focused on that while, like I said, balancing being a mum. So that's probably kind of what I feel like my win is at the moment, because I feel like I've got that worked out a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's nice when you feel like you've got I do like the word balance. I also like the word blend. And someone brought that into my life a little while ago.
Yeah.
And like, I love that feeling of that blend as a business owner, and you run a successful business and a mum, and you're like present with him like 99% of the time, which is so nice. It's such a good feeling, like, to be able to do both. I often say, like, I would never be able to cut it in a corporate job being a mum, because like, look, the mum guilts are there, even if you've got to just step into your office, which is inside your home, and shut the door and do the things. But I think it would be a lot more mum guilt if I had to get into the car, go to a job, and then do that whole like shuffle. I feel like I often say, like, I feel so lucky, but it's not lucky. We've built this for ourselves.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So it's not luck. It's
No, it's not luck. And it's a lot of work, I think, too, to get to this point. When I look back, when I started my business, I was not at the point of having kids at all. But as in, that wasn't on my, immediate radar. But I knew that I wanted more flexibility than what I was going to get working in the hospital. And that was sort of one of the driving forces with starting my business, as well as wanting to be able to provide better care for people and more consistent support and holistic support. But it was that factor of being able to build a business that then allowed me to still work and enjoy my work, but also be a mum, and be a mum in the way that I wanted to. And I agree. Sometimes I think, on those crazy weeks where you feel like that blend or that balance is not going so well, I still think this is still better than I think going and working a shift in a hospital for our family.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with you. Not for me, not in a hospital, but
Yeah.
being like away from the home. I think it's, so much better. So tell me about your business. What are you currently doing in your business? What does that look like right now for you?
Yeah, so for me, a lot of the work that I'm doing at the moment is through group workshops. So working with parents, they do a 4-week course with me in pregnancy. So that's something that I've been doing for 8 years, running these courses. And that's something that I've focused on quite a bit in this time. I think doing groups is obviously a good use of my time as well, because I can work with more than just one family. And having limited time now, working part-time, I don't have the capacity that I had before to see lots of people. So that's worked quite well, I think, for me, but also for clients, because it means that, I have a lot more availability to support people, whereas there was a point when I was having to turn away people because I had too many inquiries for one-on-ones. So that's been really good. I have a team of midwives that work with me as well. So a lot of my day-to-day supporting them, and I guess looking at the ways that we can provide more support to clients and more services that fit the needs of pregnant and postnatal mums. So we do postnatal packages. So our clients will have their own midwife that sees them throughout the first 6 weeks of pregnancy, to support with the first 6 weeks after their baby's born. To support with lots of things like, of course, things like feeding, but also just that emotional transition and having a baby and building that trust as a parent, and all of that kind of stuff that can be a bit overwhelming. So I'm often supporting our team with any clinical challenges that they might have, or just a second opinion, or chatting with people who are interested in our services. And then also I spend quite a bit of time with social media planning and with marketing, because to me, marketing, it took me a bit to get my head around it. I think I don't know if it's a health professional thing, or maybe just it was maybe just me, but I, kind of doing sales felt a bit odd and a bit weird, and I think it does for a lot of people. But now I see it as, if people don't know that we exist or how we can help them, then we're kind of doing a disservice to them if they don't know that option is out there. And so for me, with social media and, websites and blogs and the podcasts that I have, it's really about providing value and information to people, and them getting to know us and me and what we're about, so that they can decide if we're the right fit for them or not. So I spend a lot of my weeks doing podcasts and doing some social media stuff, and trying to connect with my audience on there as well.
Yeah. So before you came into Superhero Marketing, which is my membership, what were you previously doing with your marketing, and what was that kind of tipping point? I know we had that. I know that you know the answer to this because we've had this conversation, but what was that tipping point for you? Where were you at with your marketing?
Yeah, I think I used to feel like I was very across the marketing. Over the past few years, I used to invest a lot of time in doing trainings and courses and attending things. And I got to the point, which is a very lucky place to be in, where I was really busy. And so then for a while, I didn't really focus on marketing much, because I didn't have any capacity to see anybody else. So it really took a back seat for quite a while. And then I had my son, and then I was on maternity leave, and then coming back, we offered some new services, and obviously I had the team working with me now as well, so we had much more capacity. So I wanted to get back into it, but I just didn't know where to start. I felt like I didn't know what was happening with Instagram, and I just didn't know. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing anymore. Essentially, I sort of had the basics of I guess connecting with our audience and helping people to get to know us, but other than that, I was a bit stuck, I guess. I didn't know where to go.
What was the step that made you go, yep, I need to do this?
I think it was just literally feeling like I needed some guidance. And I really enjoy, social media stuff, and marketing and, doing a lot of that stuff. So I didn't really want to outsource it. I didn't want to
and it
have
does
someone do
show.
it.
It shows that you enjoy it. So if
Yeah.
everyone's listening, whoever's listening now, what's your Instagram handle so people can follow you if they're not driving? Just so
they can see. Yeah. So my Instagram is Hannah Willsmore Midwife, and Willsmore has 2 L's in it.
Yeah. So you can see that you genuinely love doing that. You're always there doing, Q&As, questions, ask me anything. You're always putting yourself out there and being really raw and genuine and honestly providing the best feedback and care. And obviously in your line of work, being like the allied health space, you can't say certain things. You can't give advice. You can't provide testimonials. You can't do certain things. So you have to navigate around that and still, I guess, it's like market in a really, I don't know, what is the word I'm looking for? Not authentic way, but in a careful way. Well, yes, authentic, but carefully, not to break any rules, because the byproduct of that is, I guess, getting shut down or fined or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, could be both. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And so I guess I'd sort of, when I'd look into other marketing things, sometimes I felt like it was about, sharing client videos and sharing testimonials and things like that, which we can't do as health professionals, really. And so, yes, I felt like you were totally across that. And so then I think I'd followed your page and listened to your podcast for a while. And then I think when you opened the doors to the membership, it was just kind of the perfect timing for me to go, I need some more direction on just where I'm going, and also someone to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important, because when you're so close to your business as a business owner, you can't see it anymore and you don't know what you don't know. And all it takes is for someone to come in that is an outsider and be like, hey, why don't you do it like this? You're like, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
And the reason that we don't is because we're so close to it. So it's like, you've always done it, so you'll always do it, but maybe that's not the best way. Maybe there is a better way that is quicker, less time consuming, more efficient, like all those things. And I think that's the beauty of having someone in your corner, is to go, hey, so yay.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, that was, it saves you so much time, because you don't spend days thinking about something. You can just, I would just shoot you a message, and I know we'd have lots of conversations and things and be like, what do you think about this? Or you would, send me a message on Instagram about a post that I'd put up saying, remember to put this call to action in, or remember to put this in, and I was like, oh yeah, like, it was really, it was good. Like, it was, you were very involved in what was going on. It wasn't just sort of a, this is what I'm teaching and that's it. You were sort of, I felt like you were watching what I was posting and then providing feedback and things, not in a scary way, in a good way,
You're on my hit list.
Yeah, no, it was good, because you're right. You do things in a certain way, and I think as a business owner, you are aiming for efficiency as well in some regards, and so I think you do sometimes repeat habits and ways that you've done things that maybe are not the best way to do it. So yeah, it was really helpful.
Yeah, nice. What's been your biggest realization when it comes to marketing?
Biggest realization, I think, probably around staying consistent. Staying consistent, not only with showing up regularly, but also consistent to your kind of your business mission and your values and who you are, I think, and not sort of getting distracted by shiny objects and things that other people are doing and stuff like that. I think, really keeping focused on your goals for your business, and how you can work, how you can really support your clients or your audience, and keeping focused on that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I often say, like, stay in your lane, because there's nobody in that lane. And in the world that we live in today, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, there is always going to be lots of people doing what you do. So you've got to really, I mean, competitor analysis is important, but staying in your lane will keep you true to, like what you just said, mission, values, what's your objective for doing it, and not kind of get that shiny object syndrome, which, it happens because social media is like, it's the best marketing tool the world has ever seen, but it also can be super detrimental if not used in the right way for small business owners. So yeah, that's really important. What's that one thing that you think that you've done, and it could be consistency. I don't want to answer the question for you, but to move like your marketing forward, or like have a bigger impact to your audience?
Yeah, I think consistency is part of it, but probably also really dedicating the time to that. I think most business owners will have this challenge that you're working in the business a lot. And so you really, for me, really blocking out that time to work on the marketing has been huge, and really to, work through like the workbooks that you've got and actually spending that time writing out the business values and really spending that time dedicated to marketing, I guess, I think is important. Like, so not only just consistency in showing up and sharing and creating posts and that kind of thing, but really thinking about, really spending that time looking at our point of difference and looking at really where our zone of genius is supporting clients, and then how we can convey that in the marketing and spending a bit of time in that. I think dedicating time to that as far as consistency each week, for me, has been one of the biggest things in moving the needle forward, and just really getting focused, not trying to tick off all sort of boxes and all different avenues, just focusing. Like for me, Instagram is sort of the main place that I focus, and a little bit on email marketing. But that's something I'm focusing on more at the moment. So it's probably a bit more front of mind. But yeah, just not sort of, sometimes I think, and the podcast actually is a big sort of marketing, I wouldn't say strategy, but that's something that I put a lot of focus into.
It's one of your foundations, isn't it? So
yeah, and I love it. Like I love talking. I present workshops for a living. So yeah, it's I enjoy it, and I personally enjoy listening to podcasts too. And I think as a mum, and when I was pregnant, like it's just a great way to learn too. So I sort of focused on those things and not got sidetracked. Like things like and you might tell me off for this, but like my LinkedIn seriously needs some work, and I need to, go back over and look at your stuff around LinkedIn. But also a lot of my clients, yes, we have some sort of like professional, like I do training for midwives and other birth professionals. So there's a little bit of that. But it just, when I've had limited time, I sort of hone in on a couple of things rather than trying to do everything, which I used to feel like I could do everything because I had more time.
Yeah.
And I was working full time.
Yeah. I think it's so brilliant I think you need all the things to have that well-oiled machine that is available wherever someone taps in, except for when you are time poor, doing one thing and doing it well is important, and getting it right. And then you've got that to replicate over onto other platforms when you have more capacity. But that's also an element, I think, in business. Like, we need to be kind to ourselves. And I know that you are, like, when you are out and doing things with your son, and you're not like in the business working, and you're always doing like activities, being outside, going for walks. And I think that is also an element of being really kind to yourself. And I think when you are better in your business after filling up your cup. And
yeah, totally. And I think I was talking about before with that kind of balance, or that blend, there was a time where I think I was trying to achieve the same as far as like all my marketing and all of my networking and things compared to before I had my son. And I sort of realized that I literally have a lot less capacity for this now. And that's my choice too. Like I want to be able to be present with him, and I try on the days when I am home with him to not work unless he's napping, which is always a bit up in the air, isn't it, with what will happen there. So yeah, I really try to switch off. But there was a point where I would try and sort of just do some emails quickly, or I'd try and be replying to emails while I was cooking dinner, and it just, like, the stress from that and the overwhelm, and it just, I wasn't then a good mum or a good partner because I was stressed, but then I wasn't doing the best job in my business either.
Yeah, and I think what I've learned is like you do the mum thing and you're in it and you do it well. And then when you're not around them, they've, been cared for, whatever, you do the business thing and you're in it and you're doing it well.
Mm.
When you try and split it, it's like you've just got all your brains firing off and something is going to go wrong
Yeah,
and it's not
exactly.
worth it.
It's
And
too many
then you've got
tabs
someone
open.
pulling at your leg and it's
Yeah. Yeah.
I just can't do this. I'm going to fall apart. So it's better to
Yeah.
just not. One thing that I've actually done, and I don't know if you have this, I've deleted emails off of my phone.
Yes, I have actually only done that maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah. So I'm
I would
not
do it and then get it back. I would
Yeah.
delete it and then put it back on. But now, yeah, I haven't had it for a month. Yeah, it's a game changer, isn't it?
Massive. I just like if I could give like one piece of advice to someone in our shoes or just trying to do lots of things at once is you don't need them on there. If something is that urgent, someone will call you. As long as you're checking in like once a day or top and tail of the day, like they're a distraction that can be dealt with, later. But I love it. I love not having them on my phone.
Yeah, it's made a big difference. Instagram is my thing at the moment because it is, and you probably find the same, like there is that personal element to it. You're checking out stuff. It's not purely a work thing. And so sometimes I find like my current thing is making sure that I don't just scroll Instagram until I go to bed. Yeah, because I think, yes, I might be looking at some parenting stuff or, activities to do with art or just, I don't know, whatever, connecting with friends and stuff. But then you get a message from a client or something at, 11 p.m. And yeah, that's my current thing around just making sure I've got good boundaries around that for myself, so that I can have that downtime and then have a better brain capacity to actually then support my clients that I'm working with.
Yeah, that's great. Now, what advice would you give business owners around their marketing?
I think you want to learn from someone that knows what they're doing and is the expert in it. It's generally, I think, for me, it's not my zone of genius. And I think for most business owners, they're great at what they do. They're, like I said, I'm a midwife lactation consultant. Like that's what I kind of do. But for other people, even if say they're a builder or something like that, like that's their zone of genius. I would say that most business owners, marketing probably wouldn't be our zone of genius. So I think just don't try to do it all yourself because you're just going to spend so much more time trying to work it out than it's probably worth. And it doesn't mean that you have to outsource it altogether. I think that was always my thing was like, well, but I enjoy it. I don't want to just hand it over to someone else. And I do, I find it sometimes a bit inauthentic. Like I still wanted to be the one writing the copy and everything. And so, like investing, learning from people like yourself, obviously, who know what they're doing, who know about marketing, where it's their zone of genius, so that then you can apply that to your business.
Good advice. And on that, where can we find you properly? Where do you hang out? I know, tell us Instagram, website. I'll put everything in the show notes for anyone who's listening and wants to click through and stalk you a little bit more.
Yeah, so I definitely hang out on Instagram the most. Like I said, probably a little bit too much, but I'm definitely on Instagram the most. So yeah, my handle is Hannah Willsmore Midwife. My website is hannahwillsmore.com, and that's where I have lots of resources on there. I have a free resource library that people can access that has lots of things like, a hospital packing checklist and a antenatal expressing tutorial. Yeah, it's been really great creating that actually, and having that resource library so that people can tap into it no matter what part of their journey they're at, whether they are breastfeeding or whether they're pregnant or whether they're planning a baby. So yeah, I've got resources and a blog, and obviously the podcast that I have as well is called Changing Birth with Hannah Willsmore, and I try and put up lots of episodes on there on lots of different educational topics and guest interviews with different people.
So we've got a hospital packing list, we've got a lactation,
antenatal expressing video, which if you're breastfeeding or you're planning on breastfeeding is really helpful. And something that we can kind of do proactively to prepare for breastfeeding. And then I also have a affirmations printable as well. So that's more the mindset work in pregnancy, around preparing for birth and preparing for parenting. And affirmations, it's not just about I want to have a natural birth. It's about how we want to feel and how do we want to feel in those last few weeks, and really helping us to feel confident about birth and about parenting and mothering and caring for our little baby. So there's a few resources in there as well.
Beautiful. I feel like it's a scary journey when it's your first time. And if anyone is listening and they are pregnant for the first time, I feel like you are a wealth of knowledge to tap into, because knowledge is power in this space, in every space really. But, well, I know it was a scary time for me.
No, I think it is. And we do, we support families no matter if it's their, first, second, third, fourth baby, wherever they are on their journey. But we predominantly work with parents expecting their first baby, because I think it is overwhelming. And it's a time where there's just so much that's new and there's so much to learn. And it's, there's often a bit of a negative vibe in society as well. You're not going to get any sleep, get your sleep now, like your life's going to change forever kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like, it's amazing. But it can be challenging, and it's a lot, but it can be really, really a really positive time. And that's what I experienced when I had my son. I had an amazing birth and I had an amazing journey afterwards. And I look back on that time, that first 6 weeks and that newborn bubble, was being like one of the best times in my life. And I just I really want everyone to have that experience.
Yep, that's beautiful. I love that. And it is so precious, and they grow so fast, and then they turn into little gremlins like mine.
They're different. Yeah.
They're
super cute. Like,
it's a different kind of cute.
Different challenge.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, Hannah, thank you so much for joining me today. And loved it.
Thanks, Hayley. Thanks for having me.
Bye. I hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode. If you have, hit subscribe so you don't miss any new episodes released every Tuesday. And while you're there, leave me a review. I would absolutely love to read it. Also, don't forget to tag me at Hayley K. Osborne over on Instagram and share this post with your audience so they can get learning too. Sharing is caring. If you want more, head over to hayleyosborne.com.au/podcast for today's show notes and links. Catch you next week for another episode of The Hayley Osborne Show.